This is my Yamaha CS70M, which I am selling. This video is to show you the functionality of it, showing you that everything works. So, here we go. So first off, output switch. Right now, it's on, switch it off, no sound. So that's nice. You can run a headphone jack in here if you want to keep this off, so you don't have to unplug it from your PA. That's cool. And the volume, wonderful. Alright, so next is the pitch, your main tune, which controls both. And then your D-tune, which controls oscillator 2. Wonderful. Tremolo. Well, first off, the middle one here actually controls the tremolo, starting with. And there's a set speed, and you can use the speed one to make it faster. Very nice. This ensemble is super nice. Cool. Now the modes, we have normal, which is your 6-voice poly mode. That's nice. We have split, which we have 2-4 or 4-2, meaning where it's split you can have 2 voices on the low end and then 4 on the top, or the other mode, 4-2, which is 4 voices on the low end, 2 on the top. Whenever you switch modes, the patch selector will default to its first positions. So I'm just running it manual with a sawtooth with these controls. So split actually does, this is oscillator, sounds 1 and sounds 2. So there's going to be 2 different sounds in here. So let's start with the low ones. Then you combine that. And then above here, oscillator 2. In the middle, you have the little arrow here, which shows those are the lower voices, these are the higher voices. So the manual is only on the higher voices. And then unison, which, when used, will use all 12 VCOs at the same time. You can still play polyphonically, but it will take 2 voices away each time. Pretty thick. Cool. I'm just going to go back to normal mode for demonstration purposes. Alright, the LFO up here. So, in order to make the LFO work, you have to choose one of the frequencies, or patterns. We have here a sine wave, we have a regular saw down, glide up, glide down, sample and hold, and ring modulator. In order to activate these, you have to choose either VCO pulse width, which only works with square wave, VCF, and VCA. So, for example, I will do VCF because those are fun and everyone likes those. So I'll hold this, and then you use the modulation depth to increase increase the modulation. So the thing is, it's only affecting one of the oscillators, so if you choose the second one, it'll do both now. Here we go. That's pretty cool. And you can use the wheel. If you click that, then down here you have modulation wheel, which affects oscillator 1 and 2, and oscillator 2. For example, Let's start with oscillator 1 and 2. Oscillator 1 only, which is an octave down. And then oscillator 2 only. Wonderful. So, you want to go, we'll test out the saw. Pretty percussive, pretty cool. Glide, I honestly have not used the glide functions, so I'm not going to pretend to know how those work. Then we have sample and hold, which are super great. I'm going to do a VCO on this one. We know how that is, cool. You can use the envelope generator depth. I honestly, that might actually work with the envelope generator depth in the VCF since, or maybe not. Sorry. Anyway, the attack time will say how long it takes for that to go into effect. So let's try that. Attack all the way up. Okay, so that is actually the speed that, so it will go down and then it will go up and then come back down. So let's try it with decay time all the way up and attack time all the way down. So it quickly went up and sharply came down. This is the main speed knob. As you can see, the red light indicates your LFO, and then you have a fine-tuning knob here for those very, very fine intervals. Yep, and the ring mod is the CS ring mod. So let's do this. Cool. All right. I'm going to skip the sequencer for now. I'm just going to show you the rest of this. So you have selectable sawtooth, and then you have square, and you can choose both if you want to. Everything is being done in manual mode, just as a reminder. So, first off is sawtooth only. Let me see. Okay, so I'm just going to cut off at the max resonance, the bottom, no extra sine wave bass. Detune a little. Balance slider. You can balance between 1 and 2 oscillator sections, which has octaves and fifths as well. Cool. Alright, so, and here's a square. I'm going to turn this off. There we go. I'm going to try to turn this off. Okay, there we go. None of these are lit up. That's off. Okay, one extra note. If your ring modulator is on at all, it's going to affect it even if none of these are on. That's why it was waving. Now I turned that part off. This should just be a straight square. Cool. Alright. Sorry? So we have pulse width, which goes with... which can be affected by the LFO if you want. Cool. And then we got noise, which you can use without any of these on. With none of these on, you don't hear anything. But you can use noise and mix those in. Sorry about that. And then your final option is actually this sine wave, which is the bass boost, which was done in some of these old Yamaha CS models. So this, by itself, cool. All right, turn the sawtooth back on. All right, go. You got it cut off, resonance. All right, then you have your ADSR for the filter, and then the depth which affects the filter. So right now, is that working how I think it is? Maybe. This may work in a way that I'm not equipped to explain right now, but this is affecting that. Okay, so over here we got so this is a regular low pass filter. I believe it's just a 12 dB 2-pole. So all right, high pass. Alright, and then you have your band pass. And then you have a reverse one, which is crazy, which will do any of these, high pass or band pass. I've never really figured out how to use that, but you can hear that it's affecting something. And then you have the Time X5, which I love because I love the swellingness. So back to regular low pass, and then you have your attack way up. Then you can do, whoop, excuse me. Let me turn the attack on over here so you can see. Turn that all the way up. Then of course, standard ADSR stuff. Okay, so same thing over here. So we have, once again, the bass boost. Time at 5, and then this hold button, anything that you play, you can hit hold and it'll just play for however long until you hit hold again. It'll be a sharp cutoff. So let's do this. When you hit hold again, it just shuts off all the sounds going on. So that's something to keep in mind. And then you have a volume over here, which is different from your master volume because this is going to mix in if you decide to save it, which I'll show in a little bit. All right, so we're going to go down here now. So this LFO is different from this LFO. This is either wheel or foot control or aftertouch. Now the aftertouch here is definitely unique in the fact that, well, I'll just show you. So the LFO, we got sine wave, sawtooth, and square. And turning this affects the rate. So with the sensitivity knob right here, I have it maxed out. I'm going to choose aftertouch on, well, let's say, we'll do all three just to show you. So right now you want to have your envelope generator depth. I put it in the middle, and so we're gonna do this. So turn the sensitivity knob down. All right. Now the filter. Let me. It's very subtle, but it is there. And VCA, you'll definitely be able to hear this one. Okay, so this one is wheel or foot control. So we got VCO for, we're going to modulate. So that's saw down. This one is, that was a sine wave, and the last one's a square wave. Cool. Now VCF. Cool. VCA. I feel like Vangelis and that song Multi-Track Machine, is it? Cool. I do have a foot pedal here. It's not coming with the unit, but I will just demonstrate on how it will do the same if connected. So I will switch this up. Okay, actually, I'm using this foot pedal for something different. So I use it for the brilliance, which is just the filter. So with it, the pedal all the way in the off position, heel down. Let's see here. And then I press it slowly. This is gonna mimic my foot. Everyone's gonna love this. Ready? This foot pedal is really cool. It's I believe it's a Yamaha FC7. So you got this synth, pick that up. I would double check though, don't take my word on it. Anyway, so that's cool. So we got a portamento and glissando with our time. So let's just show you that real quick. And then glissando, let's do it real long. There you go. Difference is portamento is a smooth slide, glissando is stepped, for anyone who might not know. Sustain switch. Alright, I'm going to turn that down. Short sustain. So turning the release time on the VCA all the way down. There we go. binaural filter for the entire thing. Cool. Once again, the octave switches, which were... Okay, so now the balance here. We have this one on the left, which is 2 and 4, which when you're in split mode will give either more volume to the bass or the treble. So we'll just do that real quick. We're in 2/4 mode. So start off with all the way in 2. Nothing coming out over here. Put it in the middle. That's real high. It's on manual. All right. All right. And then all the way down to 4. Nothing down here. Cool. So, all right. And then this switch is balanced between 1 and 2. So, once again, I'm going to go back to regular normal mode for this. Let's see. Okay, so we're going to be, in the middle is going to be, we're going to show 2 different octaves here. 1 is all the way at the lowest. This is on the highest. So that's just a switch between them. This is a little crackly. Very subtle right now, but if you're playing it live, I hold it to the right to go up and down, which is probably just a temporary fix. That's fine. Here we have the memory. So in the memory here, you have 30 places to save your patches that you make. To access them, you just simply choose. Alright, and if you want to only choose one, then say that is the only one you want, then that's just what I say there. Sounds strange. Just to show that every single one lights up. Alright. Now I'm going to go down to 2 just. Same going through. Wonderful. Okay. To save a patch on here. Let's say, okay, this one, do I even like this one? No, I don't. So I'm gonna find something I like. We'll save that one. So to do that, you're going to use this button right, press it, you're going to hold it, and then press the button you want. So first off, before I do that, here's the original. And here is what I'm playing now. Hold right, hit the one you want to save it to, and then when you load that up, there it is. The Yamaha CS70M has an auto-tune button. The manual tells you to wait a while before hitting this, but I guess that would kind of defeat the purpose of this. I personally, when I like to mess around, I turn it on, I wait 10 seconds, then hit auto-tune, and it sounds fine. The store button here is not going to be used because this is supposed to have these magnetic strips, which I don't even know what they look like. They're stupid rare, and they're supposed to allow you to save more memory, which goes in this little slot here, but I've never seen them. The guy before me never saw them, and I doubt you were going to see them. So, but that's what that's for. So that was an overview of the Yamaha CS70M, just showing you everything's working. Now I'm just going to do a quick, every single key is working. All right, here we go. Wonderful. Okay, just going to show you the back panel real quick. It's probably going to be an awkward angle, but here we have the power switch, and there is a volt selector switch, because in America I'm apparently running at 120 volts, while 100 is for Japan. So unless you're buying this from Japan, then oops, then you're not going to worry about that. Here we have, I don't exactly know what the PGM lock does. I think it has something to do with being able to change the sounds on here or not. This Yamaha key code thing, this is it's a pre-MIDI cable that you probably are not going to be able to find, but it does hook up to a Yamaha CP35 electric piano, which will give it's basically would turn that into a MIDI controller with 76 keys. But like I said, finding this cable is going to be is not going to happen. And then you have your solo output control volt and trigger. I'm assuming that is for CV. I've never tried that, so I cannot say anything about that. Here are your pedal inputs. The top one is the one that I use for the Brilliance, which is the Vangelis. You can also use it for other modulation or volume. It's a volume pedal. And then you have an input for sustain pedal looking like a piano, which can trigger the sequencer. Ooh, yes, I have to come back to that. And the portamento and the sustain. And back here you have two outputs, one which is mixed, which is either channel 1 only or both if there's only one input. And then underneath you have a channel 2, and then here you have an XLR because professional. Cool. All right, so just gonna show you the sequence super quick before I wrap this up. So the sequencer, there is no click track, so there's two ways to do the sequencer. First off, you have to choose A, B, C, or D. So we're gonna start with A, and it will record in real time, but you have to be really good with your own speed. So when you hit record, just like this, it'll start on the first note. But I waited to hit record again, so there's going to be a big space. So I'll show you. It only plays once unless you hit the repeat button. Space. Cool. The ×2 button will make it go twice as fast. Wonderful. Okay, the tempo will allow you to vary the tempo, but there's nothing besides your ear to go by. So first we gotta turn the ×2 off. Alright, so now our second recording mode is CV only. this allows you, this is a step sequencer basically. It's a little bit cumbersome to use, but it is usable. So when doing CV only, make sure that's lit up. Oops. Oh, I'm sorry. You gotta select a track first. So I'm gonna do B. Hold CV only, press CV only, then do record. Now, every time you hit a note, you have to hit CV only to register it. For example. Okay, so now you can hit record again, which will deactivate it. I'm going to put it on repeat, and now it'll be at a set tempo, which you can obviously adjust. Alright, now I have two sequences going on right now. If they're both lit up, they're just going to go one right in a row and continue as long as the repeat is on. So I'm going to show you it without the repeat. So it'll be... That's no repeat. With the repeat on, they're going to repeat in that sequence. Now for something. So I'm going to do something quick on C. Alright, and then I'm going to record one on D just for fun. By the way, this is polyphonic, so this actually will do multiple notes in real time. Alright, so now let's turn all those on. Let me turn this down a little bit so it's not so ear piercing.